Hey, you guys! Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Life Coaching with MDR. It's a rainy day here in Memphis, Tennessee. I hope you guys are having much better weather than we are today. I'm not gonna say I like the rain, so the rain is calming, and no rain, no harvest, right? So I wanted to jump on this real quick because people are often offended by things they resonate with. Let me say that again. People are often offended by things they resonate with. So I might post something that has totally nothing to do with my life. I'm real big on if God give me something to say, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it on my post, my Facebook post. I'm gonna say it on Instagram, and whatever the case may be. Or I might tell the person personally, what I need to say that I feel like in that moment has to be shared with them. Whatever. And people get offended, and this is my take on it. They get offended, They get offended because they resonate with it. They're guilty of it. They've done it, and they haven't healed from it. It's a trigger, and all that jazz, right? So I might say something that someone has shared with me. Of course, I'm not, using their name, but I'm using their story, what they might be enduring, what they might be going through, and I'm gonna put my words on it. Like something simple is just what I said. No rain, no harvest. Somebody could be going through something that's enormous for them to carry, or whatever, and no rain, no harvest. So I just feel like people get offended easily, quickly, because it's a reflection of the things that they're doing. Like people's like, all these subliminal messages people be posting. No, they're not subliminal. You just read it and it resonated with you because you're guilty of doing some of the stuff that you read. Let's just call it what it is. You haven't learned to take ownership for how you move, for the things you say, for what you do. And so when you read certain stuff, you get in your feelings about it. And you can't believe people are saying these type of things. But you're doing it. You're doing it. And I've come to know, and this is in my book, that I'm gonna finish before Christmas get here. I am. That's my goal. But that's another thing. It is in my book that people will try to twist it back around to say, people shouldn't say that kind of stuff, and people this, people that. When you gonna take some ownership? When you gonna own your mess and say, this how I'm out here living, this how I'm out here moving, this how I'm reckless? When? Because in order to grow, in order to take yourself to the next level, in order for God to move you to the next level in your life, you have to really reflect on who you are. You really have to reflect on what you do, how you hinder yourself, how do you hinder your blessings, how do you keep things at bay that God may want to give you, but he doesn't see any growth. And take me, for example. I've shared this on Facebook. I've shared this in my videos. I didn't have good money management skills. Nobody had set me down and taught me how to save my money. I'm the type of person, I was the type of person to spend what I had, but I didn't have a lot. So I was living beyond my means, right? So one day I'm at the corn store. I got up early. Excuse me. My leg been hurt. Got up bright and early because I didn't want anyone to see me. I took my change to the corn store because I needed my change to turn into dollars so I could use them. And I don't know if I needed to pay a bill or get groceries or whatever the case may be. But I was embarrassed. I didn't want anyone to see me. Catch this. I didn't want anyone to see me. You know, I was dressed the best. I looked good, but my finances weren't good. I was struggling. And I kid you not, at that corn star, God not only allowed one coworker to see me, I saw at least 5 coworkers that morning who saw me at the corn star. You know, nobody never said anything, but I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed that I had to take my change and turn it into dollars. But God exposed me for a reason. Because at that corn store, I said, Lord, if you never allow me to have to come here again and to be exposed like this, I'm going to do right by my finances. And I have. And sometimes that's what those posts are. Exposure. You're being exposed. And darkness don't like light. It's like the kid that get caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Although their mama and daddy saw them, they continue to say, no. Is your hand in that cookie jar? No, ma'am. They are caught and still denying it. And that's most people. Most people aren't ready to hear how they reflect, how their reflection is out here in this world, in this atmosphere. You have this notion of who you are. And then somebody say, no, you mean. I mean. Yeah, you mean, you bossy. I mean, I'm bossy. Because that's not how I see myself. Now, let's not get it twisted. Some people say stuff that is not true at all about you because that's just how they are. But I'm talking about some stuff that you know you really are, and you've been denying it for so long that you lie to yourself about it. So stop being offended when people that love you call you to the carpet about certain things. Stop being offended. Every time somebody says something to you, you upset. You in your feelings. You can't hear them, what they're trying to say, because you're offended. And so for me, if I feel like you can't hear what I got to say, I ain't got nothing to say. I ain't got nothing to say. And the worst place for me to be with you is quiet. It's quiet. Because when I love you and I care about you and I'm invested in your life, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to play with you. It's going to be fun. It's going to be... That's how I am. You can ask my coworkers. You can ask my friends. I'm a fun, lovable, love to dance, drop the beat type of girl. I don't like no mess. I don't like no drama. Never have, never will. That's not how my peace works. That's not how these Libra scales work. And I feel it's real, can't think of another word, crazy, for me as a 41-year-old woman to say, I'm not about to even waste my breath. When people don't hear you, stop talking. Because everybody's not ready to grow up. I don't care how much potential you see in them. I don't care how much you want them to grow. People have to want to grow for themselves. People have to want to take ownership for their mess for themselves. People have to say, look, I'm going to put this mirror in front of my own face and stop looking what everybody else doing and start worrying about what I'm doing. And start seeing where I need to change it and really reflect on what I need to change so I can go to the next level. Because people really, really believe having things make them great. No. Because money might get you there. But character will keep you there. Connections might get you there, but character will keep you there. And I think it's important for all of us to have an honest conversation with ourselves to say, who am I? What do I bring to the table that is toxic, that tear people down, that keeps me at bay, that makes me feel like, look, I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready to have that conversation yet. These are the things you need to be examining about yourself. And I mean me included. I know I got some stuff that I need to work on. This mouth being one of them. And the only reason why I'm going to say my mouth is because there wasn't always a time that I spoke up for myself. So it's hard for me to go back to that place and say, don't say nothing, girl. Don't even say nothing. But the other side on my shoulder be like, you better speak up. And you have to find a healthy balance. You have to know when it's time to speak up and when to say, I ain't even got the time. But I think it's very important to learn how to take ownership, to learn how to apologize when you're wrong and stop waiting for weeks and days and months and think, oh, they okay now. Let me start having a conversation, because I'm honestly just going to look at you like you crazy. Because you got to be crazy to just start talking to me after you ain't talked to me for weeks and months. And I don't mean that in an ugly way. Those are things I don't quite understand. I get taking a moment, a breather, finding the right words to say so you won't say anything that you can't take back, because once the words are said, you can't take them back. I get that. That's a beautiful thing to do. That's a self-conscious thing that you have to sometimes learn how to do. And for those who have mastered that, amazing, great. But I'm talking about people who use that time of silence as punishment. So you think you're going to punish somebody by not talking to them. That's childish. That stuff kids do. I'm not talking to you. You're not my friend no more. Instead of having a conversation. Look, I didn't like when you did X, Y, and Z. I didn't like the way you said X, Y, and Z. I didn't like the way you moved. Can we not do X, Y, and Z? What can I do as your friend, as your parent, as your significant other to have a better communication so we can reach a better place? Because this ain't what I signed up for. And stop trying to punish me with silence, because I'm not your child. I'm your friend. I'm not your child. I'm your significant other. I'm not your child. I'm your parent. Stop trying to punish me to get your way. That's ugly. That's an ugly trait. And a lot of people do this. A lot of people try to punish people with their silence. You leave me long enough, I don't need you at all. You leave somebody alone long enough, and then they learn how to live without you. So you have to be careful when you're trying to punish people with silence. But that's another thing. So it was on my mind, because I always get, oh, are you okay? Or, oh, what's going on? Or, oh, first of all, I ain't talking about me. Second of all, maybe it resonated with you because you're doing it. Third, get you some business. But more importantly, find you some ownership. And that's me as well. I'm not just talking about everybody viewing the video. Maybe you've mastered what ownership is. Maybe you can honestly say, look, when I got an issue, I know how to address it. I know how to address it without hitting below the belt. I know how to address it without being ugly. I know how to speak up without cutting people down. Maybe you've mastered it. And if you have, maybe you need to teach a class. Because some of us are out here losing that fight every day. We're so self-centered, so self-absorbed. Me, my. What, I. But then you expect people to want to pour into you, and all you thought about was yourself. So, next time you come back, bring somebody so we can all grow together. Growth is essential, and it's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable for me to say some things that I've said to myself, like, I wasn't ready for that. And it's uncomfortable to hear how other people see you. Because here you are thinking, oh, I'm this. And that's not the vibes you're giving out. So, yeah. Have a good one, y'all. Back in my space. Peace.